Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know, I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee without a doubt. Currently, I am obsessed with Datsuns, and we are working on a 1978 Datsun 620, so join the fun. Nothing too serious. I'm just going to rinse this thing off a little bit. Cleaned up good enough. I just did a quick rinse. It is ready now to get back in the shop. Breezy out here, so that's why I did it today. Dry off real quick. I was going to fix this part of the bed right here, but I changed my mind. I'm just not going to right now. Like I said, I'm going to revisit a lot of things on this truck because I just like it so much. So it's going to get the full service. Who knows, maybe a full restoration. Dash is almost done. It's sitting out here. I had to just fix a couple little tiny spots on it, and I'm going to resin over it, I think twice, and that's going to be the end of it. I'm going to paint it. Sprayed this part of the dash with acid, that Ospo, and we'll let that do its thing. And I will also paint this part flat, or satin trim black is what it's called, SEMS. I'm going to trim the edges up, and then I'll be able to sand it off. I am certainly ready to be done with this dash pad. This has been a chore. It looks so nice, all glossy right now with the resin on there, and it is dry. But I can't leave it like this. It's got spots here and there. I'm going to have to sand it off just a little bit. And that's it. I'm going to paint this thing and be done with it. It may not be perfect, but it's going to be done. I have to sand it right. I'm just doing this for dramatic effect. This first coat is self-etching primer. This is a texture coating. This is trim black. It is done. I like that textured look. I think that makes it look more original. I do have a little pinhole here and there. I should have 2K primered it before I painted it, but I just got in a little bit of a hurry, and I think I'll just be happy with the way it turned out. I also got the metal part of the dash painted and ready to go. Glove box door and ashtray. Before you paint plastic, you need to scuff it real good and use an adhesion promoter before you start painting. That'll ensure that the paint doesn't peel off the plastic. This is that textured paint. I have a pinhole. I want to see if I could fill it in. Sometimes you can fix things, sometimes you just make them worse. Not a huge improvement, but I'm afraid to do anymore. I've got to get these wiper arms out of the way so that I can clean up this air intake area. I want to clean it up real good, spray with acid, and possibly paint it with enamel paint. Going back together, the heater box is the first step. Now I'll clean this up real nice inside and out. I got it cleaned up pretty decent. The speedometer was making a little noise, so I got that fixed. Now, on these old trucks, you want to change these bulbs out. Replace them with LED bulbs. Trust me, they make a huge difference. I don't even know how they got by with these old bulbs. You can't even hardly see anything. I didn't realize how bad they were until I started driving that 68 and then I put these in there. I forgot to mention these LED bulbs can only go in one direction. I think sometimes you have to take these out and turn them 180 degrees. I'm pretty sure I can reach these while they're in the truck. So if I have to, I'll flip them around. One of the funny things about YouTube is, have you guys ever tried to put a screw in? I'm sure all of you have, and they don't just go right in. You've got to wiggle them around, this and that, to get them in there and all of that. But then when you see it on YouTube, every single time it's just, zoop, it's going in, because they edited out all the other part, which you wouldn't want to watch because it's boring, I understand that, but things never go as smooth as they show on YouTube. Every Datsun glove box door I've seen is broke off right here. So this is a seal for a garage door, and it fits somehow in the lip like that and makes a seal. I'm gonna take a piece of this, and with this lip, this edge right here, put it inside of here, I think. Kind of like that. Bolt it down, screw it down, so it'll hold this on there. And then I should be able to just put this on top and screw it in place. And I think that'll make a nice hinge. The glove box, of course, is in terrible shape. Not as bad as a lot of them, but it's in bad shape. I think what I'm gonna do with this one is take the staples out of the sides here and then open it up and either put new board on it or just cover it with vinyl on the inside and the outside, and that should strengthen it up. I'm leaning towards covering it with vinyl on the inside and outside because that's quicker and easier, but I don't know. Changing plans. This old truck has a good dash. I hate to take it out of there. I didn't really want to disassemble this one, but it'll be all right. Thought I'd spruce it up a bit before I put it in. The glove box is up and running. It could use maybe a little tweaking, but good enough. I gotta move on. This is my first time doing a dash like this, and I think it came out really good, and I think it could come out a lot better. But now that I know this will work, and if it holds up, that'll be even better, I can do it again. Working on the dash has slowed me down. I feel like I'm not getting much done. So what I'm going to do now is get the cab back on the frame. And the first thing I have to do before I do that is there's a lot of slop right here in this gear shift. And I have a solution for that, I hope. So first, I got to get this knob off, which is junk, unfortunately. My boot was all tore up. And as you saw, this thing had the flop going on. This is a Nissan kit I got off eBay. There are two plastic bushings, And that is where the slop should be took out. This bottom piece of plastic for the shifter and a new clip. They do make brass bushings, but I needed the boot and I got this whole kit for the same price as the boot, so I thought I would use these plastic bushings for now. When they go bad, I'll replace them with the brass ones because it's easy to change out. One will go right here, one will go right here, and it actually feels kind of rubbery. They're rubbery. I thought they were plastic. This is just gonna go in my new glove box because this one seems fine. The pin fits nice, so I would say, because what I was worried about is if you keep running this without bushings, will it wear the pin and wear the shifter linkage? I don't know.
That's really good because it is a snug fit. That's nice. Man, that made a huge difference. Look, there's no slapping it now. That tightened it right up. That is nice.
I've got to get the steering column back in the cab, and I'm going to replace this rubber piece right here. This is the old one, and it actually is rubber. This new one, I don't know what they made it out of. It's 3D printed, but it is very, very tight here. It's not rubbery, elastic. And here's my problem. It's got to slide over this, and it is not going to do that, I promise you. I tried heating it up with a heat gun, and it's not going to happen. I think I'm going to drill these 2 spot welds out, and then put the thing on there and weld them back on. I've got to get all these pieces here cleaned up so I can attempt to put the dash back together. HVAC controls. I'm going to shine this edge up a little bit. Let me show you what's going on with it. See how the silver's kind of missing there, especially in that spot. Little permanent marker. Will this work? I've said this a lot and I say it a lot in my videos. I don't know. This is the first time I've done it. Can you see a difference? It only took a few minutes and it does look better, I think. Let's see, here's that spot down there on the bottom. This is a wax pen, China marker, maybe you call it. Watch this. I'll clean it up a little bit, but that's pretty cool, isn't it? Brought it back to life. Well, these came out very nice. The way this works, and I screwed it up, is that there is a light bulb that fits right here in this can. And then these are not wires. It's just plastic fibers going through here. So the light reflects onto that plastic all the way to the end of this switch and it'll make this glow. I did not know that, so I cut this thinking it was a wire and I could resolder it. I couldn't understand what was going on here and it was stupid to cut that. You should never do that. So if you need this information, I'm going to give it to you. These plug in like this. That's it. You push those in. I didn't push it all the way in, I'm going to, but that's how the switches are unconnected. You don't have to cut them like I foolishly did. It actually still works. I cut it and was very careful to put it together nice and tight and heat shrunk it. and it worked. But I thought of a better solution, I think, and I just wanted to try it since I already screwed this up. This is an LED bulb, and I think it's small enough, the wires, to fit down in there inside of the switch. It'll fit down in here like this, and I was going to hot glue it or something, glue it some way here so it stays put and wire it up. I will now see if I can do that and let you know if it worked. I'm gonna call this a failed experiment that could work. I drilled this out. It was very easy because, like I said, it's just plastic in there. Now this light will fit in there very nicely. And if you trim this black part off just a little bit, this heat shrink, it'll actually fit better. Then you'll put this on and it does fit, no problem. So now for the issue, it is simply too bright. And you can see it's off to the side right now. You could maybe center it up, whatever, but it's just too bright in there. And I tried painting the bulb and different things. You just want this to glow. You don't want it to blind you. If I had time, I could play with this idea a little bit more and make it work, but I don't, and I have another switch, so I'm just gonna use that. Now, as I said earlier, this bulb will go into this can and light up our switches. Isn't that nice? A warm green glow. I did put a LED bulb in there because a lot of times you could barely even see those switches. Like it's the opposite extreme. Before quitting for the evening last night, I did paint these pieces for the steering column. Today's Saturday morning. I have to have this done and edited for you folks tomorrow morning. That's a hazard switch. I hope I never have to use those. And I did use a different key switch. I'm using parts, the best parts out of all of my junk trucks. You know that song, All I Want to Do is Have Some Fun, Sheryl Crow? Does she say, good people of the world washing their Datsuns and Buicks? Does she say Datsuns? I'm gonna look that up. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. The good people of the world are washing their cars on their lunch breaks, hosing, scrubbing best they can in suits and skirts. I've been eyeballing this steering wheel. It's a 3-spoke one. Isn't that nice? I'm gonna pop it off. I already started to take the cover off here, and I'll get the wheel off. There's something extra cool about it that I want to show you once I get it off. So this 3-spoke steering wheel is cool to start with, but they covered up the coolest part of the steering wheel. But I will reveal it to you right now. Remember these old steering wheel covers? I wonder if they still make them. They feel nice. So here we go. Are you seeing that? Wood grain, baby. Wood grain. I've got the steering wheel installed. The dash is nearly complete. Looking pretty good. That's going to be it for this one. We'll see you next time.